So let's talk about virtual assessment and more. And as I was looking at my calendar today, I realized that back when I put things on my calendar in advance, that it said I was going to be in Waco, Texas this week for CAMA Southern Section. Obviously not. It got canceled and postponed to next fall. And that then I was going to be in San Antonio the following weekend for ACTFL, which again, ACTFL is going on, but no, not going, don't have to go to San Antonio because it's entirely virtual. And that got me thinking about conferences because there's a lot of great things about conferences and there's a lot of things that aren't so great. And I started thinking about four questions that we usually don't have time to think about, but I had a little time to think about them this morning. So the first thing that I was wondering was, what do you miss most about physical world conferences? Probably not the registration desk, but maybe you do. Maybe you always volunteer to be at the registration desk because you really like helping people get there and get settled in and get all the things. Different people miss different things. What do you not miss at all? For me, the answer is I don't miss big keynote talks. They're usually interesting in the moment, but you tend to sort of sit there and let the information pass over you. Sometimes they're right after a meal. Sometimes they're like at the end of the banquet, and then you're sitting there thinking, oh, I'm tired and full, and I want to go do my next thing. So there are probably things about physical conferences that you guys don't miss at all. And then I bet there are things that you've always thought, there should be more of this. My answer would be I'd like for there to be more time to get together with small groups of people and like actually think about how you would implement the stuff that you're learning. What should there be less of? All kinds of different answers for that, right? One thing that comes to mind for me is scheduling all the sessions that I want to go to at the exact same time. How does that happen? I've even been on program committee for a smallish conference, and we tried really, really hard not to do that, and we still ended up with people saying, but in section such and so, I want to go to both talks. I guess one good thing about a virtual conference is that you can watch as many of them as you want whenever you want to. There's never a conflict, right? And then a fifth bonus question. What should happen at conferences when and if they start to happen again that never actually happened before? I don't have a final answer, but the first thing that came to my mind was I'd really like a way to keep the momentum going. I'd really like a way to stay connected with the people that I met. I'd really like a way to form some kind of a group that worked on a continuing something that we were all interested in, that we knew we were going to use, and a way to not necessarily keep the mountaintop experience that you sometimes get at a conference, but to keep some of that momentum going, especially when it's the situation where you leave on the Saturday or the Sunday and you go back home and then Monday is waiting, and in the old normal world, school was waiting and that first period class was waiting, and all the ambitious plans that you had about how you were going to change things melted in the face of that first or second or third period class on Monday. So I don't have the one right answer for any of those questions because I don't think there is a one right answer. But I do think the questions are important. And I do think that as a community, as a group, if we address those kinds of questions, we can bring something out better on the other side. So if you're interested in that, and if you have some time free on Saturday, on this coming Saturday, November 14th, if you're watching live, or on any Saturday coming up if you're watching later, come and join this group that are calling ourselves Let's Build a Thing Together. You can join the Facebook group, you can message me and get the Zoom link, and come and join us, and we're going to be addressing those questions, but we're also going to be actually using the process that we developed to build some things together. And when the time is right, we're going to be excited to welcome you. Because, I'm going to say this right, it doesn't have to be difficult, doesn't have to be complicated, and it does not have to be that hard, and you don't have to do it alone. So if you're ready for a change, if you're ready for things that should happen that never actually happened before, see you on Saturday. And until then, Walete Sodales.